Features do we look for in a work boot to fit a custom-made orthotic? And we often get people come through the clinic looking to fit a custom-made orthotic into a work boot, and it can be a little bit difficult depending on the type of work boot they're using. So we're going to use the Orthotics Elements work boot here as the perfect example to fit a custom-made orthotic in. Now, the first thing we look for is all the regular features of a good shoe. So where does it bend? It doesn't twist too much. The heel count is nice and high and firm. It's a lace-up. It's got a solid shock-absorbing midsole and a non-slip outsole. So they're the basic features of a shoe. There's a few other things that we look for when fitting a custom-made orthotic into a work boot. And the first one of those is, and it's really seems quite simple, but are we going to fit a custom orthotic in the boot? So with the Orthotics Elements boot here, we've got this really quite nice high arch supportive insole. So once we remove that insole, you'll have plenty of room to replace it with your custom-made orthotic like this one here. As we've allowed for a lot of the functional performance of the arch support features to be actually in the insole in this boot. So you can actually remove that, and then you've got this really nice flat base. Now this doesn't taper up on the edges like some boots do to try and give more arch support easily. So what it means is that you'll be starting from a really nice level base for your custom-made orthotic, so you get your wedging correctly. So your podiatrist will actually go and measure your foot really quite accurately within a couple of degrees of how far they want to twist your foot out or in. And then they'll add some cushioning and shock absorbing features and a heel raise to that orthotic. So what you can look for is a nice flat board on the insole. So when you remove the insole, you'll be able to fit your orthotic in, it'll be flat, so you'll have a standard base to work from for your custom-made orthotics. The other thing we look for is, does it have a heel counter? So you can see in here you've got this 2mm thermoplastic heel counter. And the reason we look for that is because when we lace the boot up, the laces will push down this way. So look from this side. The laces will pull your foot down into the heel counter from this side, and the heel counter will push back up. So what it does is sort of locks your foot in position and holds your heel down in the heel seat of the orthotic. So that's another great feature of having a really nice thermoplastic heel counter. And if you look closely in this boot, the next feature we look for, it's got this thermoplastic shank as well. So if you think of it, it's just like a piece of plastic or steel, something that you traditionally use in a boot. And what this does, it stops the boot from bending through the middle of the foot. So if you can imagine, we've got the arch support in the boot, and if we had a boot that was bending right the way through the middle of the arch, it actually distorts the arch contour of the orthotic. So what that can lead to is, if we don't have a shank in our boot and we're fitting a custom-made orthotic, it can actually push up really quite firmly underneath that sustentaculum talli area, or just in front of the heel seat there, and it can cause a lot of irritation. And the only real option for this is to either change the boot or to lower the arch height. And once we start lowering the arch height, then your custom orthotics won't be as effective, and your podiatrist won't get the benefits they're looking for out of the orthotics. So that's a brief rundown of the features in the Orthotics Elements work boots, why they're great for fitting custom-made orthotics. If you have any questions or comments, you can either comment in the comment section below or email us at orthotics.com.au, or you can ask your podiatrist to run through the features and maybe book an appointment with your local podiatrist. And what they can do is they'll be able to run through the features in your current boots and see how they compare. And if you are going to fit a custom-made orthotic, they can suggest whether it's suitable or not to fit a custom-made orthotic in that current boot that you're wearing. I hope this helps. Thanks.